So, sir, thanks again. Thanks for joining us today. So, we have Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, who is the Group Vice Chancellor, Amity Universities, Director General, Amity Group of Institutions, and Vice Chairman, Global Foundation of Learning Excellence, and Director General, Amity International Business School. He has extensive experience of more than 26 years in institution building, teaching, consultancy, research, and industry. So, sir, thanks a lot for joining Collegedunia today. And the one question which I have for you is you have been associated in education sector since very long, and you've been with the Amity Group since years or more than a decade. So what is it that keeps you motivated, or say which associates you with the education sector? So how did you decide upon to join education sector, and how's the journey so far?
Well, I think that the education is in my veins, and Amity is my second home. I was not even 27 when I joined the institution. It's more than 25 years now that I have been with this group. And Dr. Chauhan, who's our founder, is a very inspirational figure who handpicked me. And I was given a charge to initiate the first international business school of the group. And from there, we started from no students to today 175,000 students across the globe, with 11 universities in India and 15 foreign campuses. It has been an exciting journey, and I was given an opportunity to work with some of the most brilliant minds of the world, and I'm really privileged. I'm working very closely with Dr. Atul Chauhan, who is our Chancellor and is a Prof at the School of Economics, and who is again a very inspirational leader. And Dr. Singh Chauhan, who is also the Chancellor of 4 of our other universities, and is the additional president of the foundation. So overall, I think that the group has been targeting on imparting the quality education. And the vision of the group has always been that we should not only be providing education, but should be providing the meaningful education. So Dr. Chauhan always had a question in his mind, that how he can make students employable. I remember that long back, 25 years back, when Amity was being established, he used to ask questions to us that why is it so that Indian in India is not successful, but when Indian goes abroad, he suddenly becomes very successful. And he also used to ask the question that why is it so that 33% or 1/3 of the top academics of the world, they are from the Indian origin. If you look at Stanford, you look at Harvard, you look at Ivy Leagues, Russell Group of universities, those who are doing PhDs with them, those who are doing advanced research or teaching, they are from Indian origin. Right? But still we are got hardly any university which is among the top 100 universities of the world. So he had this question that why is it so that when India is producing so many CEOs, when India is producing world-class academicians, still Indian universities are not able to make students employable. So Amity was created with a very clear focus that we need to create something which is industry-friendly, which is not supply-driven, but which is demand-driven, and where we can change the entire scenario of the education. And we are so privileged that within 25 years, we have seen not only Amity coming up as the first private university, but then there are few who followed us. And today, in the private sphere, a lot of good universities have come up. All of them, they are doing good work. And the average salary of the students who are doing our various programs, especially international programs. If you look at, I remember that 25 years back when we used to go abroad, people used to ask us, "You're from which country?" Right? So today, when we are traveling abroad, people know brand India. People know that Indian academics, they are having meaningful partnerships. They are filing joint patents. They are contributing in research. They are being treated as equal partners in the world. So the journey has been quite exciting, from an unequal partnerships to equal partnerships, to no recognition, to now the brand is recognized across the globe, from unranked institution to now amongst the top 3% universities of the world. Amity is today, as per the QS ranking and as per the Times Higher ranking, we are amongst the top 3 universities of the world. And in terms of employability, we are amongst the top 1% universities of the world. So this was a very exciting journey, and we thank God that He gave us this opportunity.
Sure. Thanks a lot, sir, for sharing your journey. And now talking a bit more about the Amity group. So I just wanted to understand what is the vision. I mean, of course, Amity has achieved a lot ever since its inception. But what is the vision way ahead for you? So I understand you're expanding. You already have expanded into London, Dubai, Singapore, and of course there are various other campuses which have come up. Though Amity Noida still continues to hold that kind of brand. But going ahead, what is your vision? Do you wish to plan to expand in South, or do you wish to plan to expand to other countries? Or be it in terms of teaching pedagogy, or probably how COVID is shaping up the new education policy and teaching pedagogy. So what is the vision ahead?
Ms. Julia, we are trying to integrate ourselves totally towards Industry 4.0.
Mm-hmm.
So Education 4.0, number 1, should be integrated with the Industry 4.0.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? It is that we should be creating a workforce which is demanded by the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So we should not be throwing people that we are producing engineers which are not required. We are producing doctors which are not required. We are producing accountants which are not required. Rather looking at that what are the needs. Mm-hmm. So Amity has tried to integrate technology into our programs. For example, we became the first university which came up with the multidisciplinary research and multidisciplinary courses. Management with artificial intelligence, data analytics with law, right? Machine learning with commerce and with the BBA, international business with artificial intelligence. So I think that what we are trying to do is that we are creating programs which are demanded by the industry, not only in India but across the globe. Secondly, what we are trying to do is that Indian students, that when students apply to us, we look at their applications very minutely. 77.3% of the students, this is the data which I'm quoting from our admission department, about 77%, you can say that 77% students who take admission, they take with only one aspiration: what will be the placement?
Okay.
So they are concentrating more on looking at the placement prospects, that where they will be employed. And if you look at the employability of most of the Indian universities and compare it with the employability of the universities which are teaching abroad, there is a huge difference. On an average, anyone who's coming from a good American school or from good UK university, Australian university, average salary is 65,000. This is average. Maybe that they get 120 also. But average salary is 65,000 US dollars. In India, those who are graduating, average salary is 25,000 rupees.
Yeah.
So it will take at least 2 decades for my children to compete against those who are studying in some of the good institutions abroad. So Amity came and we wanted to give that kind of platform to the students, that this gap between the salaries and acceptability of the Indian students in the global market should be reduced. And we are happy that we have been able to do it. So we created very innovative programs, first university to came up the international programs. And those were the days when the regulatory authorities were asking too many questions. Dr. Chauhan came and then he said that why not to create a program where we start in India, second part should be in London and third part should be in US. So we created 3-continent program and we kept the cost very low. For example, if you study today and you do your engineering abroad, it will cost you somewhere about 2 crore rupees. We created a program which the cost was less than 20 lakhs. And it was in 3 countries. And the result was that the students who were doing a 3-continent program, they were either doing their advanced programs in some of the top brands of the world, or they were picked up by some of the great companies. All of them. If you look at their data after passing out 10 years down the line, each one of them is a success story, earning more than 1 crore rupee. Right? And that is average. So anyone who's abroad, the salary is more than 65 lakhs to about 1.5 crores is the average. So, but we wanted to give this kind of dream to the Indian students that don't compete only with Indian brands or don't compete only with the Indian market, but try to open your wings. If you really want that you should be competing with the people, then you need to do right education. Second thing which we did was that we started with a program called Internship Abroad Program. where we thought that there are large number of students who will not be able to go abroad. But if we give them internships with some of the leading companies in the world or with the leading academics of the world, they will get a chance to work with them. For example, one of our students, she did an internship with one Australian university, and she was later picked by the same university to do a PhD on 100% scholarship. Another girl, Mohini, did an internship in Singapore, and she was picked by HSBC. Other student worked in London, and today is a CEO of the Lotha Group. So I think one of the students, he went to US. Today he's a director with Microsoft. So I think that the students who have become success stories, they became success stories because they wanted to compete internationally with the international brands. And we really wanted that Indian education sector should see that what changes are required. Saying simply in India that we are best, we will never be best. Everyone claims they are best. You will never be best. You need to align yourself with the international universities and what they are doing. And that is what we have been able to do. Try to give opportunity to the students. Try to give them what is expected if they want to be successful abroad. And then telling them that just sitting in a classroom will not get you a great career. Going to the industry and picking up right projects is going to help you out. For example, if you come to our business school or if you go to our engineering school or school of communication, school of biotechnology, we have made it a mandate for the students that if they are doing 5 subjects a semester, they should pick up 5 industry projects. Everyone has to do it. So in a business school, you will find when the students are coming in, they are more excited about doing the industry projects rather than doing the things in theory. And that has helped them. Because if you look at the student who's doing their MBA, at the end of the day, 4 semesters, they are doing somewhere about 20 projects and a dissertation. So in your CV, if you write that you have done in 20 projects and these are the learnings, the ones interviewing you will surely see that you are different from the projects which are available otherwise in the market. And out of those 20, if you have 5 where you have got international experience, you are done. So then you will not look for a job of 25,000, 30,000. You are competing against the odd which are getting good salaries and global salaries. That is how we have been able to create brand, and that is how our teaching pedagogy is going to be very different. The second thing which we have done is that we have inculcated research in our curriculum. Every student who is a part of Amity is encouraged to do joint research with their professors. One, that about 90% of our faculty, they are brilliant PhDs from premier institutions from India and abroad. Secondly, what we have done is that we have kept target for every faculty member that you need to write. So faculty, they are writing with the students, they are doing joint patents, they are taking students on the international conferences. So about 40% of the research which our faculty is producing, it is because of the combined efforts of the students and the faculty, which has given a same culture which some of the top universities of the world has. So this has created something which is new in the Indian academics and which has changed the shift that from classroom teaching to research to industry friendly. Third thing which we have done is that we have created a world-class incubator at the campus. So those who really want to create their own companies, we put them on the incubator and help them. So not everyone can start business. So out of 1,000 ideas which you normally get, maybe success rate is 2%. But it gives the opportunity to the students that how they should conceive an idea, how they should give presentations, how they should sit across the table, what is required to take loans from the banks, who are angel investors. And then they become the success stories. So concentrating on incubator while incubating new companies, research, which is an integral part of the curriculum, and then giving international exposure and making them globally competitive. This has been our teaching pedagogy at Amity.
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot for such detailed description. Now I think we have known a lot about how the Amity group works, what is the philosophy behind Amity University. Now I have a more of a generic question for all the students who are looking forward to take an admission this year. Students who are looking for admission this year, there will be various factors they'll have to look into before choosing any institution. Because you mentioned placement is one of an important factor. So I just wanted to know from you what all factors should a student look into while choosing any institution for admission this year?
This year is very different from the other years because there are a large number of students who wanted to go abroad, but still they are not able to go. So for those students, Mr. Gulia, we have created a program called Global Study Program, where the students can do first part of the program in India, and then they can go to various universities. We have collaboration with somewhere about 350 universities across the globe. So if someone wants to do a program in America or in Canada or in Australia or in UK, and they are not able to go right now, so they can do 1 year with us or 2 years with us, and then they can take advanced entry into these universities. So my message to all those who wanted to go abroad but are not able to go abroad is that please don't feel sad, or don't say that you were preparing very hard but then you are not able to travel. There are universities in India who have created very innovative programs, and the education minister has brought a number of changes through new education policy, through which a lot of students, they can now do first part of their program in India, and then they can do rest of the program abroad. So I think one of the parameters which we feel is that the students who were earlier going abroad, they are looking for the universities and colleges who can where they can start a program and then later on can transfer their credits. Second, I think that the most important thing which we are seeing is that the students are looking for interdisciplinary programs. So anyone who is doing engineering, they are also looking that can they do along with engineering some specialization, some specialization in finance or in economics or in other parts. So I think that there are universities who are coming with interdisciplinary programs. For example, in Amity, we are offering more than 100 courses, and students can pick up from these basket of courses any course they want to take. For example, if you are doing management, you can do AI, you can do data analytics, you can do machine learning. If you are doing engineering and you want to do a course in language, you can pick up language. If you want to do a course in fashion, you can pick up a course in fashion. If you want to do a course in psychology, you can take a course in psychology. Similarly, anyone who is doing specialization in law, if they want, then they can pick up a course which is different. So I think that what we have tried to do is that through our various innovative programs, we are helping students to choose one, courses of their own choice. Secondly, if they want to look at the universities which can make them more employable or which can make them industry friendly, we are able to give them those choices. So this year is very different because number one, students, they were throughout the year, they were at home, and we don't know that next 1 year, how many weeks or how many months we will be able to give sessions. So most of the students, they are looking for innovative universities which are good in online education, which can provide quality inputs, which can make their career something which is very, very positive, which can help students to grow, where they can take multidisciplinary programs, where students can also go abroad at a later stage, can transfer their credits. So I think all these factors are quite important, and we are very happy that quite a few universities, including Amity, they are offering and giving such choices to us.
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot for your words, and I'm sure the prospective students this year, they'll get a lot of insights once they view the words directly coming from you. And of course, we'll keep them posted. We'll let them know about what Amity University has to offer and what decisions and factors they should consider into while taking admission.